Hi everybody, it's NashNorf. I'm here again with another jersey related video. So today I've done something pretty special. I have made 32 NHL Jersey Concepts using the Adidas template that I've used for some of my other Jersey Concept videos. Today the entire NHL gets some representation. I have done all 32, that's right, 32, so I have made a concept for Seattle. And I have ranked all of them for you guys, my own concepts. I know that's a little weird, but I've ranked my very own concepts 32 through 1, and we're doing like a power rankings of the ones that I've made. So without further ado, we're gonna get started, and then I'm gonna tell you one little cool thing about each jersey is that I put something unique in each of the jerseys' neckline, and I'll quickly highlight each of them as we go through them and show you what's up. Some of them are pretty simple, some of them are pretty cool. Starting out with number 32 is going to be the Buffalo Sabres. So for me, even though I made this, and I'm going to stop saying that every jersey, I'm just going to reiterate that I made all these. I don't like this concept because I feel like it's too close to what they already have. The only thing that really I did differently is I put the Buffa Slug on the shoulders, and I made the logo in the middle completely gold, as well as the letters and the number. It looks like the numbers and the letters are crooked, but they're not. I think it's just the way that they're italicized or whatever. So I think this is a decent jersey. It's just a little too close to what they already have. And in the neckline, you will see that I put Buffalo. Something simple and easy. Coming in at 31, we have the Montreal Canadiens. So I'm ranking this pretty low just because it's kind of hard to do a Canadiens concept. They have not really changed anything about their design elements in a very long time, and they have some other alternate logos, but they're not really pretty. So the only thing I thought to do is incorporate some more blue into their jersey. So this is the best I could come up with. It's not great, and it kind of looks a little lazy, but I seriously tried to think of something unique, and this is the best I could do. Something I did in the neckline is I put a stripe for as many Stanley Cups as they've won in their franchise history. Moving on to 30th, the Arizona Coyotes. So I have this one ranked pretty low just because I don't know, I like the colors that I picked. I think maybe I just didn't do too good of a job executing it. Weirdly enough, the black with the purple kind of makes everything look like it's floating, but I'm kind of convinced that if this was like an actually produced jersey, it would look pretty good. I think it just doesn't look good with the low resolution format of my template that I use. So I made this Kachina stripe on Photoshop, just like using a reference, kind of tracing it, making my own color scheme and stuff like that. So this one took a lot of time, so I'm a little upset that I put it so low in my list. And I used their secondary patch with the moon, which is where I got the idea to use purple. I think it looks okay. I just think I really could have maybe done something different to make it better, but I spent enough time on it to the point where I was like, okay, this is it. And the cool neckline for here is I used the Arizona state flag. So moving on to 29th, we have the Dallas Stars. I have beef with Dallas from a design perspective. I know there are a lot of people that like Dallas's jersey and their logo. I do not. I think their logo is so ugly. I don't really like letters and stuff in logos. I'm a hypocrite because I totally do that later in this video. That's why I paused. But I don't know. Dallas, their green is so hideous to me. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the way they currently are. So this is my best attempt to use some elements they've used previously and make a new jersey for them that kind of also looks a little bit like some of their older jerseys. So I essentially took the Stars logo and removed the text and just used that star, and I filled it in, as well as doing some new unique striping. And I brought back that kind of mustardy yellow that the North Stars used to use and Dallas when they first got to Dallas. Not a lot going on here. It's pretty simple, but I kind of like it. I think it's a vibe. And of course, for the neckline, I gave the Texas flag a shout out. Moving on to 28th, Boston Bruins. I'm a big fan of their third jersey with the B. The pinwheel logo is kind of weird to me. And I think it's okay for these classic cities to use just a letter as their logo because it kind of makes sense. I went with a very simplistic design, just using black and gold. I erased the B from the pinwheel logo and made it a secondary logo, and I kind of think it turned out pretty nice. Not a lot to say about this jersey. It is what it is. It's ranked pretty low just because it's not very interesting, but I think it'd be cool Boston maybe as a third jersey, maybe to replace the one they have right now that is really too similar to their standard jersey as is. So I think maybe doing like a full yellow shoulder thing like that would make it a little bit unique. All right, number 27, we have the Vegas Golden Knights. So I really like the idea of using their secondary logo as a primary logo for their third jersey. And we know that their third jersey is going to have gold in it. The reason I'm ranking this so low for me is because I feel like this is more or less what I see for most concepts. We just don't really have a lot of Vegas jerseys. They don't have a rich jersey history. So I just kind of did what I could do. I don't know if I like the outline colors. I don't know if I really like anything about this jersey, but I really tried hard to make it different from their current jersey. I think it's okay. That's why it's ranked low. I did make sure to invert the primary logo on the shoulders to be red as an accent, and I think that kind of turned out pretty nicely. And in the neckline for this jersey, I included a part of the Nevada flag that says Battleborn. I think that's pretty neat. Coming in at 25, we have the San Jose Sharks. I really like the stealth jerseys a lot. So I really like black being the main element to their jerseys. And I really do kind of like that coppery orange they use as an accent color on a lot of their jerseys. So I figured why not kind of combine that element with their standard jersey. So the teal is there and very evident at the end of the sleeves, but I decided to go with some thick copper stripes to break up the stealth and the teal. I think it actually ended up looking pretty good. I just think in comparison to some of the other jerseys we're going to see later in this video, it looks a little basic. The fun neckline in this jersey is a circuit board in the neckline. Coming in at 24, we have the New Jersey Devils. I'm a big fan of when they use green in their jerseys, and no pun intended for their captain's name. And I like the Devils whenever they do black concepts, so I decided instead of being full Christmas, maybe be a little bit more goth about it, and I decided to go with a black, red, and green jersey. I think it ended up looking pretty good. I gave them some laces on the neck that you don't really see a lot of teams outside of Florida using, but I think it looks pretty cool in this particular concept. And in the neckline, I have 1982, which is already used in some of their other jerseys necklines, and that is the year they were established. Coming in at 24th, we have the Los Angeles Kings, LA Kings. I really like the Burger King jersey, but I didn't want to discredit it by trying to copy it. But I really liked whenever they've used crowns in the past, and I like their purple that they used to use a lot. So I took an existing logo and recolored it, and I used some of the gray elements you've seen in some of their other jerseys as well, and I kind of combined that into a nice LA Kings jersey, I think. The only reason it's kind of ranked so low is I kind of feel like in comparison to some of the other ones, it looks a little weird. It doesn't like fit in with the group, kind of the same way the Stars one doesn't really fit in with the whole group. But I like this jersey. I think it turned out pretty well. And that's why overall it's ranked where it is. And in the neckline, we have 12 and 14, which are the years that they won the Stanley Cup. Coming in at 23, we have the Ottawa Senators. I really like any jersey they use where they use the O as the primary logo. The Senator head is cool, but I really think that O could really make a better brand for them. It's very classic too. I like it as a third jersey especially. So then I kind of just mixed up some different striping and color elements that they've used in other jerseys. I think all in all, this one turned out to be pretty clean, but again, another reason it's kind of ranked so low is it's a little boring. But I like it overall. And in the neckline on this jersey is the flag of Ottawa. Coming in at 22 is the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I did a little photoshopping here, and what I did is I removed the text from their main logo, and I took the T from the Toronto Arenas and put it in the middle. I usually don't like to mess with primary logos. I don't really do that. I think it's a little weird. But it's hard to make a Maple Leafs jersey be unique because they all pretty much have looked the same. You just change the stylizations for whatever brand is doing the jerseys. So, you know, I did the best I could do. I think I ranked it so low because I feel like it's a little bleh. But I like what I did with the logo. I think that could be a viable logo. It's something cool. Kind of stands out from more of a distance than the small text in there, I think. But I think it looks pretty good. And in the neckline, we have a small maple leaf for Canada. Coming in at 21 is the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is kind of where we start to get to some of the more interesting concepts. I personally really like this concept that I made. I'm a big fan of their gradient jersey they have now, the Storm jerseys. I can't remember what they're called, where it fades from black to gray. I really like the idea of them using gray, so I just use that as the primary color, and then I went with black logo, text, font, And then I went with the weird kind of yellow lightning bolts on the shoulders, kind of like what they do in their pants. And obviously that would probably mirror if this was like a full set. I'm not that good at Photoshop. But yeah, I think this one actually turned out to be pretty cool. And in the neckline, kind of a cop out like I did for Buffalo, I just wrote lightning, which I think it actually ended up looking pretty good. And the lightning is the color of their primary color. So a little homage to their existing design. All right, coming in at 20 is the New York Rangers. I just kind of went with a color flip and used the Lady Liberty instead. I think it actually turned out pretty good. I really like the way this jersey looks. Would be a really nice third jersey, I think, for them, because they wear the blue and the white so much. It would be kind of interesting to see them wearing red. Imagine if they played like Montreal and they wore this jersey. That would be crazy. But anyway, we're kind of getting to the middle of the pack now, so I really feel like these jerseys are getting decent, and this one's all right. And then the neckline for this one, again, I just went with a Rangers. Coming in at 19 is the Minnesota Wild. So I went back to using their older font. I kind of think it looks better. And I tried really hard not to make a Christmas jersey because it's really easy to do that when you're making Minnesota concepts. But I think this one overall turned out pretty good. I think they need a red jersey, but too many times you see the red jerseys with the word mark. That's a no from me. So I decided to go with something a little unique. I made my own little striping pattern here, and I think it ended up turning out pretty good. I like this jersey a lot. I think it's a winner. All right, coming in at 18 is the Pittsburgh Penguins. I honestly don't know, and I'm sure I'm going to get flack for this, especially from Pittsburgh fans. Preds fans are a little salty still, so bear with me. I don't understand why people like the current Pittsburgh logo. It looks so outdated. I really like Robo Penguin. I don't understand why people don't embrace Robo Penguin and use him more. I think it looks really good. And especially once I slapped Crosby on the back of this jersey, I really honestly thought it looks like something they could be using right now. So, pretty basic jersey. It's more or less their current third, but I added some striping and added Robo Penguin. I think it turned out pretty good. And in the neckline, we have the flag of Pittsburgh. Coming in at 17, we have the Philadelphia Flyers, the nearby neighbor for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I like this jersey a lot. I kind of just took their Stadium Series jersey and I forget which another one of their jerseys, and matched them together. And I like the way this jersey turned out. They have a solid logo and solid colors. They've really never had a bad jersey. And I really always like how they do like a nameplate that's very bold, solid color. I like that a lot. So this one's a little safe, I will admit, but I really like the way it turned out. I think this could be like a front runner to like replace their current home jersey. If you ask me, I'm sure Philly fans are like screaming when I say that. But the neckline for this jersey, I have a little tiny Liberty Bell in there, All right, coming in at 16 is the Chicago Blackhawks. So, yeah, I kind of like how this one turned out. I don't like the Blackhawks, obviously being a Nashville fan, big rivalry. It was hard for me to make something cool for them. I wanted to just put like a garbage bag on the front of it and send it. But got to respect all the franchises, respect all the teams. So I made something that I think is a little unique for them. I really like the Chicago flag. So as you can see, what I did with the neckline is I've made the two stripes the same color as the Chicago flag with the stars in the middle. And then I decided to use that blue as a trim color on the end of the sleeves and the bottom. Then I went with a solid black jersey because I think Chicago in all black looks pretty good, with a bold red stripe a la Montreal or Florida, something like that. And yeah, basic white text. I think that looks good. But something I really like that I did here is if you look at the Adidas logo, I made the Adidas logo the same color as the feathers, and I thought that was pretty clever myself. But yeah, this one turned out pretty good. Yeah. So coming in at 15 is the Detroit Red Wings. I kind of made the background in this one gray, just so it was a little bit easier to see that white stand out. I know Larkin's not the captain, but from what I understand, he's like the front runner to be named captain. So moving on. So I really like their Stadium Series, the one that was like white. So I honestly just kind of did a color flip and added some laces, made the D fit within the line. I think that was kind of cleaner. And I made sure I made the text curve like it does in their current homes. And I think it looks pretty good. It's hard to make a Detroit concept without like offending the entire fan base, kind of like Montreal and any of the original 6 teams. This is something I think they could use as a third jersey. Overall, it looks pretty good. That's why it's ranked so high. And in the neckline, I put little Stanley Cups for all the Stanley Cups they've won. I thought that looked pretty cool. Coming in at 14th is the New York Islanders. I love New York's color scheme, and I like their third logo on the I like the logo on their third jersey, as well as the fisherman colors and secondary patch logo. So I kind of just decided to incorporate all those elements. It kind of honestly has the same scheme as the Chicago jersey does a little bit, but with their colors and stuff like that. I went with different laces and things of that nature, but really I like the way this one turned out. I feel like this jersey looks very unique, and yeah, like I would probably consider buying this jersey. And even though I'm not a New York Islanders fan at all, I like the way this one turned out. It's very unique. They would definitely be looking fly out there on the ice if you ask me. And then the neckline here is an outline of Long Island with 4 stripes, much like their logo has for the 4 Stanley Cups they won in their dynasty run. Coming in at 13 is the Anaheim Ducks. So who doesn't like the color scheme? Who doesn't like the logo this color? I didn't want to do the old Duck logo because it's kind of like their old team. I really wanted to respect the fact that they have a new logo and they've like grown up a little bit, but you can't forget those sweet jerseys and that sweet color scheme. So I kind of decided to do that for them. I really like the way this one turned out. I designed these in alphabetical order, so this was the first one I did. So I've had a lot more time to revise this one as time has gone on. So I think I've revised it enough where it turned out to be pretty sweet. I like the way that I curved the 15 with the line on the back of the jersey. I think it turned out pretty nice. And the neckline for this one just says Anaheim. But yeah, otherwise pretty good jersey. So moving on. Coming in at 12th place is the Winnipeg Jets. Not a big Jets fan, obviously a Central Division rival, so it was hard for me to make something compelling for this team. But I think I did a pretty good job. When I showed this to Ray, she promptly said, well, that looks like a Jets jersey, which I think is an accurate assessment. It's pretty safe, but it has some unique striping, and I think it looks good for them. The only thing I might have done differently is maybe monochromed out the logo to match the jersey, but I think it looks pretty sweet. It's a very clean looking jersey. Kind of reminds me of their third jersey if they dropped the word mark, went with their normal logo, and added these stripes. I mean, it's the same color and everything. I think it turned out pretty good. And the neckline for this one is the flag of Winnipeg, and I took the seal out just to make the colors in the neckline. Coming in 11th place is the Washington Capitals. I am a huge proponent of use the Weagle. I don't understand why they use that ancient Capitals logo. It doesn't look good from far away. It doesn't really drive a good brand. You have one of the best players in the NHL. You could really benefit by having a good brand. So I pretty much did a color flip of their current jersey with some slight changes I made and used the Weagle. I think this jersey looks really sharp. It's probably one of my favorite ones that I made. Just super solid overall. And I decided to use the old Screaming Eagle logo as a secondary logo on the shoulders, and I mirrored it so it's like the correct orientation when you're looking at it from the sides. I really like the way this one turned out. That's why it's ranked so high. And in the neckline for this one, I just went with a simple DC. Coming in at 10th place is the Vancouver Canucks. Really like the skate jersey. Really also like the Orca jersey, so I decided, what the hell, I'm gonna mix them together. I recolored the Orca logo to be the same color scheme as the skate jersey. Think it turned out pretty awesome. And in the neckline for this jersey, I used the flag of, can't remember if it's the province or the city, but I used one of their flags, a piece of it, and put it in there. Yeah, that's why it looks so bizarrely different. Coming in at 9th place is Seattle. I will warn you, I can't really draw logos very well, so I went with a word mark logo. I know it's safe, but please be kind in remembering that it's really about the colors and the striping patterns and things of that nature. I really like the color scheme that they're rocking on all of their social media platforms with this salmon-y color and this teal color with hints of black. So I kind of just really tried my best to do all those things in one go. I'm a big fan. I think that this looks pretty good. If they decided to do something like this, I wouldn't be mad. And instead of doing like a drop shadow, kind of like what New York does, I decided to do like a adjacent shadow, if that makes sense. I don't know what to technically call it, but I think it ended up looking pretty good. I think this jersey looks pretty solid. I speak for everybody when I say we're very excited to see the brand reveal, the jersey reveal, everything that got going on. I was very excited when they did Vegas. So naturally, I'm pretty excited for when everything gets rolling this way. And in the neckline for this one is 2021, which will be the year they start playing. At least it might be, because if they move the season forward after the pandemic return to play, right, they're probably going to start next season in January, which means the next season would probably start in January. So there's a good chance they might actually start playing in 2022. So we'll see. But technically on paper, they're supposed to start in the 2021-2022 season. That's why I went with that. All right, coming in at 8th place is the Carolina Hurricanes. They probably have one of my favorite jerseys to have ever existed in their current third jersey. So I kind of tried to design a concept to make that jersey a home jersey without being completely black. I think the NHL doesn't like when people use black home jerseys, like primarily, because not a lot of teams do it. LA is probably the only one that does it most consistently. So I tried to make it kind of where gray as a secondary color for them, and went with the red sleeves so you could kind of still tell it was Carolina. Pretty much I've used elements that have already existed for some of their other jerseys and just kind of reshuffled them, edited them together. I think this jersey turned out to be pretty sharp. Carolina, probably one of my favorite brands in the NHL. I like the way that they've branded themselves. You got to support other Southern hockey teams. It's just nice. I mean, North Carolina is our next door neighbor too, so we're in different conferences, so they're definitely the team I root for if the Preds aren't doing too well in the playoffs. Moving on to number 7 is the Edmonton Oilers. I love the oil drop bolt jersey, whatever you want to call it. I love it. I decided to just go with some unique striping to kind of match the striping they currently have with the color scheme of this jersey. Pretty much you replace white with gray. And then if you notice, I decided to mimic that striping with the triple laces on the neckline. I think that looks pretty cool. And then in the neckline, I have used a piece of the Edmonton flag with the mountains in it. I don't know, it was just the best part that fit. And it's a piece of the province imagery. I don't know if Edmonton even really has mountains, honestly, but I just thought it looked cool. And I decided to go with the Oilers logo as a secondary logo on the shoulder, so that way you can easily identify that this is an Oilers jersey, since you do know they don't really use this logo that often. Coming in at 6 is the St. Louis Blues. Don't really like the Blues again, another Central Division rival. We're not supposed to like each other, but I really do like their jerseys, and they have a sharp logo. Good jersey history. It's been pretty consistent, don't change what's not broken. But I really liked their all-star jerseys, how they had the stanza. That was really smart, and it looked the best with the Blues logo. So I kind of tried to design something that was permanently that way. So yeah, the stanza is what they use in music for sheet music. If you weren't aware, that's why there's 5 stripes. A very Nashville imagery is 6 stripes for 6 strings and a guitar. But for them, that makes perfect sense since their logo is a music note. I think it just looks very, very good. I tried to do these 5 lines on the sleeves too. It was too much. I think it looks better, just solid blue sleeves. The attention of the jersey, the centerpiece of it, is the stripes with the logo. I think it turned out pretty good, and I'm a fan of this one. And in the neckline, we have the St. Louis Arch with a 19 in it for the year they won the Stanley Cup. Coming in at number 5, we have the Colorado Avalanche. I really liked their logo for the Stadium Series jerseys they used this year. The jerseys themselves were a little weird, but when they use the logo on the practice jersey, I really like how that turned out. So I went back and grabbed some of their older fonts, put their color scheme together, did some things that to me looked very Colorado. Just went with the simple Colorado flag symbol on the shoulder with the others being a number. I think this one turned out pretty solid. This is definitely like one of the ones I made where I was like, now that is a hockey jersey. So yeah, and in the neckline for this one, obviously we just went with the Colorado flag. It's pretty safe, but I mean, it's a pretty good flag, so why change perfection, if you ask me. Coming in at number 4, we have the Calgary Flames. This is a very, very simple jersey. I will admit that. I don't know what it is. Nobody has really ever done the black with the red and the gold outline. It's always been white. So I just kind of went with my own thing here, and I think the thick stripes, the black C on the red background, I think it looks really sharp. I don't know why I like this one so much, because it is pretty simple, but it's pretty sweet. And just using their old font, the A already had that flame in it. So when I put his name on the back of the jersey and that A showed up like that, I was so excited. I was like, that looks really sweet. Gave him some simple laces, and put the flags on the shoulder like they already had. And in the neckline for this jersey, there is a cowboy hat, which is actually on the flag for Calgary. I thought that was pretty funny. Coming in at 3rd place, we're now to the podium, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Florida Panthers. I love when teams in the Miami area use the Vice colors, the way that like the Miami Heat did. Don't understand why people don't take advantage of that more often. I used like a mock stripe, kind of the way the Leafs do with their white stripes on their blue jerseys to make it look like there's a stripe. Went with a black stripe on a black jersey. changed all the color schemes and everything to be Vice colors, you know, that pink and teal. I think this jersey turned out to be pretty sweet. I guarantee you if they made this jersey, people would buy it. Obviously, I'm not like a professional jersey designer. Somebody could probably do a better job than me, but I think this jersey looks very, very sharp, and I like it a lot. That's why I ranked it number 3. And in the neckline, you can see the paws in the mouth of the old Panthers logo. I thought that was a nice homage. All right, and then unbiasedly, to top off any team that's not Nashville, spoiler alert, my favorite jersey I made outside of Nashville, number 2, the Columbus Blue Jackets. We can all agree the Cannon jersey is sweet, probably one of the best in the NHL. I really like when they use the cream color for it, so I decided, what the hell, I'm going to make a whole damn cream jersey. I think it looks really freaking good, using that baby blue and that cream with some white elements. I recolored the logo to be white on the inside as well. I think this turned out to be really, really sweet. This is a slick jersey. I would definitely buy this, and I'm not even remotely a Blue Jackets fan. It just looks really sharp. And in the neckline for this one, I went with a nice red Ohio, because why not? And then coming in at number 1, to nobody's surprise, because I'm a Nashville fan and I made these jerseys, we have the Nashville Predators at number 1. Boom. So I know it's kind of a lot to take in. I will kind of explain it a little bit, and then maybe you'll understand why, even though it's definitely biased, why I ranked this as high as I did. So, the stripes on the end of the sleeves and at the bottom of the jersey are 6 stripes. That represents, like I was mentioning earlier, 6 strings on a guitar. Guitar in Nashville's heavy imagery, and I like the way this one turned out a lot. And I used the Prowl logo, which was the logo they used on the helmets for the Winter Classic game. And then in the neckline, I went with a simple 615. I think this jersey looks really sweet. I would buy this in a heartbeat if it came out. Everybody knows that Nashville needs a blue jersey, so this is the best that I got. Anyway, I really hope that you guys like my jersey concepts and my ranking order. I will put a link in the description for all of these jerseys and an Imgur album, so you can take a look at them individually if you'd like, and feel free to make your own ranking video and respond. Definitely just make sure you credit me. You can use any of these concepts you want to rank them, make YouTube videos, and talk about them, whatever you want. If you just stumbled across this video, like the video if you like the video, dislike this video if you dislike the video, but please tell me why. Hit that subscribe button if you liked what you saw. I'm going to make more content like this for sure. And yeah, my name is NashNorf. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.